We're back, Indie 101, and we're on our way to downtown to hang with my friend BUA, who's an amazing artist who I want all of you to meet. You know, I got this book and I started reading about him and seeing more things that he's done here in LA. He's Latino, he's from New York. He mixes like New York City, the backdrop, with beats, hip hop. Okay, so I'm gonna play you guys. So we're on our way to see my friend BUA. Seeing him, man. This is BUA. Hey. This is Art. I mean, this is Archie, Richie. You guys know. This is BUA.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I guess you went to school in New York, right or no?
I went to high school music and performing arts
In New York City.
Is high school of the arts.
Yeah.
I was doing this been doing it for a long time, continually. Right. It's like the only thing I really came back to, besides popping.
Right. I mean, for most kids that are watching, you know, they have like, they're like in high school and they're like, you know, they're involved in the art program or blah, blah. Was it like that? Like, you felt it, everybody's like, yeah, man, you got it, do it, do it.
Everyone except my teachers, who said, you suck. And
now you're a teacher also. You also teach, which is
yeah, I teach at SC, which is ironic.
Ironic, yeah. So why don't you give us a little tour of the place?
Okay. Well, this is the original DJ right here. One of my babies. One of the ones that I won't sell, no matter how much people want to throw at me.
Right.
Although if you make me an offer I can't refuse, I'll sell it. Okay. Seriously, I'll sell it. No, I won't. Maybe. I could. You never know. Things are weird.
Perspective is so tweaked. I love it.
Yeah. This is the original El Guitarrista. You know, another musician really playing for the love and
Latino.
Oh yeah.
Going back to popping, it's like all your characters and the faces are always like it's two-dimensional, but it seems like it's like popping out, you know, and it seems like there's some trickery, but it's not. It's just
flat. It's graphic, but it's coming out at you. You know.
Yeah, totally.
That's how popping is. With this one, this is Green Street.
The dice.
The dice are coming at you.
Absolutely.
Hand is in the foreground. Wanted to give that kind of claustrophobic feeling for the city.
Right.
You know, because New York's really, and a lot of cities are really becoming this way too. It's very claustrophobic. You barely see any skylight.
Absolutely.
This, of course, is Jackson Jive. He's just really in it.
Yeah.
He's blowing so hard, his eyes.
You
know.
The other day I was like checking this one out and I really thought it was like a little bit of Mick Jagger, but then he's like, yo, that's my friend's mom, and I was like, oh dude, I'm sorry.
She's cool looking, man. She's a great subject matter for me. In
Absolutely.
fact, I did another one of her here.
Oh, she's great, man.
She's got a gigantic mouth, like Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
And so, you know, she's really cool to paint. She's really, really cool.
Oh,
hey, Ruby, come here. Who's that?
Wow, dude.
Do the look.
I love how you're inspired by friends. If I would draw, like, I totally would draw friends. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's people around you. You know them.
People around you.
You could see deeper inside of them.
Let's see.
That's Father Butterfly. He's that magical man from the hood. You know, he's the guy giving you advice.
Yeah. He's real, right?
Well, you know, he's not necessarily a real person, but a distorted interpretation of a real person that exists in my mind. There's so many real people that a lot of qualities kind of, like, you know, Ruby's real.
Yeah.
Obviously, Rosita's real. But you know, this is a figment of my memory.
Yeah. Well, who's this right here? This one right here. This is awesome.
That's one of the characters from the Welfare Hotel. He's down and out, you know, drugged out. These are all the crazy characters I grew up around, all the people that I paint, you know, from my childhood memories.
Dude, like, that's gotta stay, like, vivid, you know, all the things you would see, like, when you were a kid in New York City, especially in 125th, 130, whatever, 37th.
137th the Convent.
Yeah, and you were
really interesting characters just all over, you know, that was just, they filled my imagination.
So BUA schools us in popping and in painting, coming up next on Indie 101.
Here it is, my life, my story, really chronicling the birth of hip-hop in the late 70s, early 80s, and really documented that whole world and really documented New York City.
Awesome.
You know, from all of these crazy paintings and drawings and characters. There's the Brooklyn Stick-Up Kids, you know, to really the countercultural scene of punk rock.
Oh, awesome.
You know, which is very symbiotic to the whole hip-hop scene.
Yeah, and you listen to Black Flag, you were telling me, and a lot of punk rock and
everything, man.
I mean, how could you not listen to Blondie, Talking Heads, growing up in New York? You know, great music came out from the city and great art, you know?
And that's what this book is all about. You know, it's about the musicality of the city and the fact that the city and city life can be positive and everyone comes together from all walks of life.
Right.
And that's what the gift of the city is all about.
Right. So have you heard of Pastilla?
Tell me about them.
They were indie for a while, struggling it, you know, and they stuck to it, you know. And now the giant Sony picked them up, and they're here with their new song, new video called Amarte. So why don't you say Pastilla, Amarte?
Pastilla, Amarte, I want to check it out now.
Kid, let's go to the roof and we'll talk about like the whole PowerPoint stuff.
Okay.
Whoa, put your hands up. Whoa,
it says no roof access, so I come up here a lot.
Chill. Let's rock. Brooklyn. We in the building, baby. Triple the chance, man.
So we're back, Indie 101. I'm hanging out here with BUA. And so I wanted to ask you like about the whole PowerPoint presentation and the whole, you know, character drawings that you do in high schools and also I think it's amazing. You know, I got to see a little bit of it before.
I think a lot of my characters are so real to me that I actually have to physically act them out.
I had to be crazy. You know, I was like, yo. I'm gonna tell you right now. Yo. Just to walk home, I had to act crazy.
I just like to tell my story, and that's the best way to tell my story. You see a big painting or drawing of mine, the character comes out through me. It's so much more volumetric than just a painting or a drawing could ever be. You know, I'm an educator. I like to really teach. I teach at USC, and I like to teach wherever I go, whether I'm speaking at President Clinton's office, or whether I'm speaking at Promise Academy on 125th Street and Lenox Avenue, high schools, colleges, universities. I love to give the show because it's not only a show about my life, my experience, but it's about the birth of the hip-hop culture.
Absolutely. So let's talk some rock and roll. What about rock and roll?
You know, I grew up listening. My mom was a big Stones head and Beatles and Pink Floyd, and you know, I grew up listening to the classics, Led Zeppelin. You know, like when I work out, I listen to Black Sabbath.
Oof, awesome,
I listen to Metallica. You know, Black Flag.
You get pumped up with that stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of stuff I work out to, like NWA, Black Flag, Metallica.
Yeah, easy rocks, man. Let's talk about your book.
Yeah, you can just look for my book. It's called The Beat of Urban Art, The Art of Justin BUA. It's out at Borders, Barnes & Noble, you know, boutique book stops. My website, justinbua.com. I spent 8 years working on the book.
No, it's amazing. And the characters in the book, I mean, guys, totally check it out. He's totally indie. BUA on Indie 101. Thanks for being here today.
101.
Thanks,
Pleasure, brother.
Thank you, man. Un latino haciendo arte aquí en Los Ángeles.